bro, keep squeezing till the clip gone. She got an 8, I got an 8, shit, that's a brick pole. I drunk 100 pints in jail, you can ask Sosa. They ain't never find my phone, I hit it in the lotion. In a drop head ghost, the ceiling by the groceries. Made back $2, I'm putting armor.
Yo! What do you do, YouTube? What's good, everybody? It's JoJo. Hey, y'all. We back with another video for y'all today, man. As y'all can see by the title of the vid, today I'm bringing y'all the top 50 greatest players of all time in NBA history, man. This video is going to be my first video really like sitting down and talking for real. And hey, y'all, I know I'm a college football player, but basketball was my first sport ever as an athlete, you know what I'm saying? But hey, y'all gonna find out today what's on my mind, how I feel about the NBA greats, and where I rank them all time. So, hey, let's do it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna rank my top 50 players from number 50 all the way up to number 1. All right, y'all. The list starts here. For the first player on this list, at number 50, I've got Pete Maravich, aka Pistol Pete, man. If y'all don't know about him, he's one of the most gifted guards of all time. He's one of the best scoring guards of all time. You know, we're talking about an individual here who was ahead of his time, who I personally believe, could have played in, you know, the era after his, or even like the Jordan era. You know what I'm saying? Still to this day, he is the number 1 all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history, and that just comes to show the buckets that he got, not only during his time in college, but throughout his time in the league as well. At number 49, Carmelo Anthony, aka Melo. Y'all, I mean, this player right here, I mean, one of the most gifted small forwards of all time. You know, a great scorer. That's what Carmelo has been known for all throughout his career. And yeah, man, I mean, he has numerous all-star appearances under his belt. And yeah, as I mentioned before, I mean, he's been a 3-level scorer his whole career. So yeah. At number 48, I've got Chris Paul, aka CP3. Chris Paul, one of the most gifted point guards of all time. He's second all time in assists, one of the best passers of all time. And he is also a great defender. He's been a great defender throughout his career. He was a 6-time steals leader. At number 47, I have Tracy McGrady, aka T-Mac. Tracy McGrady, he was a great scorer, a 3-level scorer. You know what I'm saying? Overall, he was just a very skilled player. You know, somebody who I believe if he had a ring under his belt, he would have been ranked higher on this list. Tracy McGrady, he was known for his explosiveness, and you know, as I mentioned, he's a 3-level scorer, man. So he was a nightmare for defenders throughout his time in the league. Number 46, John Stockton, all-time leader in assists. He's, you know, really the greatest passer of all time. You know, he's been known for his passing ability. You know, who is also a 3-level scorer throughout his time. You know, one of the better point guards this league has ever seen. You know, also with that, he's a great defender, 2-time steals leader throughout his time. And hey, man, here's another point guard right here who has dominated the game throughout his time of play. At number 45, y'all, Dominique Wilkins, aka the human highlight film. Dominique Wilkins, man, I mean, hey, we talking one of the greatest dunkers of all time. You know what I'm saying? He was a great scorer. He was a scoring champ one time throughout his career. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dominique Wilkins, he was known for his explosiveness. You know, we're talking about a guy who, once he gets to the rim, man, you better hope you don't jump with him when he jumps, man, or else it's gonna be a bad sight for you, man. You know what I'm saying? At number 44, I got Anthony Davis, aka AD, aka The Brow. Anthony Davis is a great offensive player, a great defensive player, an overall great big man. Anthony Davis, in my opinion, he definitely is one of the more better big men in recent memory. You know, talking about a guy who really made an impact for the Lakers back in 2020 in their championship run. At along with Dominique Wilkins, is one of the greatest dunkers of all time. Clyde Drexler also, in my opinion, is one of the best shooting guards of all time. We're talking about somebody who is also a 3-level scorer, very explosive, somebody else who is also known for his dunking ability. At number 42, y'all, I've got James Worthy. Hey, not much needs to be said about this individual right here. This is an all-time Laker great right here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? James Worthy, he played a significant role in numerous championships throughout the Lakers franchise history. At number 41, I've got Kevin McHale, The Torture Chamber. Y'all, this right here is an all-time Celtic great, man. You know what I'm saying? He was a 3-time champ throughout his time. And, hey, I mean, The Torture Chamber, he got his nickname for a reason, y'all. At number 40, I've got Isaiah Thomas. Right here, you know, one of the most gifted point guards of all time, and he's an all-time Pistons great, man. He battled Michael Jordan numerous times throughout his career, and hey, man, like I said, he's one of the more gifted point guards of all time, y'all. At number 39, I have Scottie Pippen. Man, first and foremost, you know, one of the more important factors to the Bulls' championship runs throughout their time. Scottie Pippen is one of the greatest small forwards of all time. He is known for his defense, especially as well. You know, he was a great defender throughout his time in the league. And yeah, as I mentioned before, he did play a significant role in the championship runs that the Chicago Bulls had back in their time. Personally, I believe, you know, if the Bulls did not have Scottie Pippen, you know, they potentially would not have won all the championships they did throughout their time. I don't know. You might agree, you might disagree, but that's where I stand with Scottie Pippen. At number 38, I've got Jerry West, aka The Logo, aka Mr. Clutch, aka Mr. Outside, man. Jerry West right here. I mean, hey, y'all, he is the NBA logo, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He has his nicknames for a reason. There isn't too much more that I can say about this individual. Clearly an icon, you know what I'm saying? I think Jerry West has been the NBA logo now for about 60 years, if I remember correctly, which clearly is a long time. Shout out Jerry West, shout out to the impact he has left. At number 37, we got Rick Barry. Number 36, I have Steve Nash. Steve Nash is a 2-time MVP throughout his time in the league, and he is also a great passer, 5-time assist leader throughout his time in the league. So that just shows his capability as a point guard. You know, he was a talented point guard. You know, an individual outside of basketball who was also gifted on the soccer field as well, man. Number 35, I have Kyrie Irving, aka Uncle Drew. You know, Kyrie Irving, he's the best ball handler of all time, in my opinion. He is a gifted, one-of-one type of scorer, unique player, you know what I'm saying? One of the greatest scorers in recent memory, especially. Kyrie Irving's ability to get to the basket, beat you off the dribble, you know, his ability to handle and create space for himself is just, his game is like no other. He definitely is a one-of-one type of player, in my opinion. And hey, man, Kyrie Irving is really one of the more skilled players that this league has ever seen, especially in recent memory as well. Number 34, I have Gary Payton, aka The Glove. Gary Payton, man, honestly, in my opinion, he is the best defending point guard of all time. And what's crazy about this player is that the point guard position is generally not a defensive-oriented position, I would say. You know, obviously point guards should have the ability to defend, but again, point guard 1 through 5, point guard is probably the least, you know, relatable to defense, I would say. So with that being said, I mean, it comes to show, you know, especially Gary Payton. This is somebody who played against Michael Jordan in the Jordan era. You know, he's played against very talented individuals, and has a defensive player of the year under his belt as a point guard. Number 33, I have James Harden, aka The Beard. James Harden, y'all, this is a top 5 shooting guard right here. In my opinion, he's sitting right there at number 5. We're talking about somebody who, throughout his career, has been a phenomenal scorer. James Harden just simply is a bucket getter, has been a bucket getter throughout his career, and that's what he's been known for throughout NBA history, man. Number 32, I have Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, man, I mean, hey, he's one of the greatest point guards of all time, y'all. Russell Westbrook really is Mr. Triple-Double, second coming, behind Oscar Robertson. Number 31, I have Charles Barkley. This is a former MVP, numerous All-Star appearances, and, somebody who also was a pretty good defender throughout his career as well. At number 30, I have Allen Iverson, aka AI, aka The Answer. You know what I'm saying? Allen Iverson is the top 5 shooting guard of all time. Allen Iverson, in my opinion, sits number 4 in all-time shooting guards. Allen Iverson is one of the most gifted, one of the greatest scorers this league has ever seen, and also one of the greatest ball handlers this league has ever seen as well. He was also a great defender throughout his time in the league. We're talking about an individual who was a 3-time steals leader. And yeah, man, Allen Iverson, he is known for his scoring ability. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Allen Iverson is a 4-time scoring champ. Number 29, Kawhi Leonard, aka The Claw. Kawhi Leonard is one of the greatest small forwards of all time. He's a great defender. Honestly, Kawhi Leonard is probably more known for his defense, than his offense, I would even say. Kawhi Leonard, we're talking about a 2-time DPOY and a 1-time steals leader. He's still currently playing, of course, so, there might even be time left for him to achieve more accolades before he's done playing. Dwight Howard, aka Superman. Y'all, this is one of the greatest centers of all time, man. We're talking about a 3-time DPOY. He actually won Defensive Player 3 years in a row, so it was back to back to back consecutively. You know what I'm saying? 2-time block leader. He's also a 5-time rebounding leader. You know what I'm saying? And he has the greatest dunk package. He's the greatest dunker as a center, which is a crazy thing to say. As far as Dwight Howard and centers, he is the greatest dunking center of all time. Dwight Howard is one of my favorite centers of all time. And hey man, it's just the explosiveness that he brought throughout his career, the dominance. Number 26, Dwayne Wade, aka D-Wade, aka Flash, man. Dwayne Wade, y'all, this is the 3rd best shooting guard of all time. This is a top 3 shooting guard of all time for sure. 3-time champion, a great 3-level scorer, and this is somebody who is also a great defender throughout his time in the league. All right, y'all. If y'all got to this point in the video, man, we have finally reached the top 25, y'all. So this is where the list starts to get a little spicy for y'all, man. So hey, at number 25, y'all, I've got Karl Malone, aka the Mailman. Y'all, this dude right here is number 3 all-time in scoring. He's the 3rd best bucket getter of all time, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about an individual who is known for his pure dominance as well. One of the strongest players in NBA history, matter of fact, as well. He's a 2-time MVP, y'all, and he's a great defender as well. If he had a championship under his belt, he would be ranked higher on this list. But unfortunately, because of that factor, I put him at number 25. Number 24, I've got Bill Walton. Number 23, I have Bob Pettit. Bob Pettit was a great player throughout his time. We're talking about an NBA champion, a 2-time MVP, a 2-time scoring champ. At number 22, I have Bob Cousy. Right here, y'all, he is a 6-time champion in MVP, and he is also... What's up, Glad Nick?
Hey, you look smooth, gang.
Oh, yeah, appreciate it. I appreciate it. What's good? What's good, fans? How you feeling, nigga? Damn, I was on Bob Cousy, wasn't I? I gotta redo that clip.
It's still recording.
Oh, it's still recording? Oh, shit. All right, y'all. At number 22, I've got Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy is a 6-time champion in MVP. He was also a great passer throughout his time in the league. He was an 8-time assist leader. Number 21, I've got Kevin Garnett, a.k.a. KG, a.k.a. the Big Ticket. Kevin Garnett, y'all, he's an NBA champion, an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and also a 4-time rebounding champ. Kevin Garnett, honestly, one of my more favorite power forwards of all time, y'all. Number 20, I've got Oscar Robertson, a.k.a. the Big O. Oscar Robertson is one of the greatest point guards of all time, y'all. As I mentioned before, along with Russell Westbrook, this is the OG Mr. Triple-Double of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? He is also an NBA champ. He's an MVP. And he was also a great passer throughout his time, y'all. He was a 6-time assist leader as well. At number 19, I've got Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki, y'all, he's one of the greatest power forwards of all time, man. He's an NBA champion. He's an MVP. Number 18, I've got Nikola Jokic, a.k.a. the Joker. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest centers in recent memory. 3-time MVP, 4-time Serbian Player of the Year, y'all. At number 17, I've got Moses Malone. Moses Malone was an NBA champion, a 3-time MVP. He was also a rebounding machine, y'all. He was a 6-time rebounding champ throughout his time. And he is also on the ABA all-time team. For those of you who don't know what the ABA is, I forget exactly what it stands for, but that's what the NBA was called prior to the transition. So it transitioned from being the ABA to what people know it as, you know, in the current age as the NBA, aka the National Basketball Association. At number 16, I've got Giannis Antetokounmpo, aka the Greek Freak. Giannis, he still has plenty of time throughout his career, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He is still at a pretty young age, honestly. But as he's been in the league, y'all, you know, we're talking about an NBA champion, a 2-time MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year. You know, in my opinion, this is the modern day demigod. You know what I'm saying? A dominant player. And as I mentioned before, he has plenty of career left for more accolades. Number 15, I've got David Robinson, aka the Admiral. David Robinson, he was a 2-time NBA champ, a 1-time MVP, also a depoy. He was a great scorer, y'all. And I believe he was an underappreciated player. David Robinson, he's one of the greatest centers of all time. At number 14, I have Hakeem Olajuwon, aka the Dream. Hakeem Olajuwon is a 2-time champion, a 2-time Finals MVP, a 1-time MVP. He's also a 2-time depoy, a 2-time rebounding champ, a 3-time block leader, and in my opinion, he has the greatest post work of all time. And we're talking about an individual who also had one of the most unguardable moves of all time. Hakeem Olajuwon is one of the best centers of all time, and he was also a great defender, one of the best defending centers of all time as well. At number 13, I have Kevin Durant, aka KD, aka Slim Reaper, aka Durantula. 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 1-time MVP, you know what I'm saying? A 4-time scoring champ, one of the greatest scorers and most skilled scorer of all time. You know what I'm saying? And this is somebody who a lot of people would consider the OG demigod. You know what I'm saying? You know, before the days of Giannis and, you know, whomever else. You know, KD was the original demigod in my opinion. Number 12, I have Julius Erving, aka Dr. J. Julius Erving is also one of the best small forwards of all time, y'all. We're talking about an individual who is a 3-time champion, a 4-time MVP, a 16-time All-Star, a 9-time first team, 3-time scoring champ, and he is also on the ABA all-time team and all-time MVP in the ABA. You know what I'm saying? A player who also played in the ABA before it transitioned to the NBA. He was dominant in both eras, both the ABA era and the NBA era. And he is also one of the greatest dunkers of all time, too, with his signature cradle dunk, y'all. Number 11, Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain is one of the greatest centers of all time, y'all. This is a 2-time champion right here, a 4-time MVP, 7-time scoring champ, 11-time rebounding champ. He was also a great passer, especially for a big man. He's the only player in NBA history to score 100 points in a game. And that speaks a lot of volume, y'all. I mean, for him to be the only player to do it, you know, obviously during his time of play, you know, people could criticize, you know, the competition and different things like that. But at the end of the day, Wilt Chamberlain was a 7'1", really demigod at that time, really, honestly. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Here we go, man. We got the top 10 NBA players of all time, y'all. We about to get the spiciest this video has reached, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, at number 10, y'all, we got the one and only Bill Russell. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about an individual who has the most rings of all time, sitting at 11 championships, 5 MVPs, 4 rebounding championships. I shouldn't say championships, but 4-time rebounding leader. And he's the best team player of all time. I mean, 11 championships, like, that speaks volume. You know, another player who can be criticized for the competition of his era. But again, at the end of the day, we're talking about an individual who sat at 6'10", 6'11", you know what I'm saying? Around that height, and, you know, somebody who clearly just dominated their time in the NBA, y'all. At number 9, I have Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, y'all, is a 5-time champion, a 3-time Finals MVP, a 3-time MVP, 4-time assist leader. You know, we're talking about one of the greatest passers of all time, y'all. He is a 2-time steals leader, so it shows that his ability on the defensive end was also of high caliber, a great defending point guard as well. And yeah, y'all, in my opinion, he is the second greatest point guard of all time, because the next individual in line is the greatest of all time at that point guard position. At number 8, I've got Stephen Curry, aka Chef Curry. Y'all, this is a 4-time champion, 2-time MVP, 2-time 3-point champion, 2-time scoring champion, and as I mentioned before, y'all, this is the greatest point guard of all time, the greatest shooter of all time, and he is also the first and only unanimous MVP this league has ever seen, y'all. At number 7, I've got Larry Bird, aka Larry Legend. This man was a 3-time champion throughout his time, a 3-time MVP, 3-time 3-point champion. You know what I'm saying? So this shows his ability. He was a phenomenal shooter, y'all. A very gifted 3-level scorer. This is the second greatest point guard, excuse my language. This is the second greatest small forward of all time. And I believe this is a player who could have played in today's era. And also, you know, I mean, hey, considering everybody else within the greatest players of all time, I mean, Larry Bird is the greatest white boy of all time. You know, it's definitely safe to say. And yeah, man, at number 6, I have the one and only Kobe Bryant, aka Black Mamba, aka Mr. 81. Kobe Bryant is a 5-time champion. He's an MVP, a great defender, 2-time scoring champ, And in my opinion, he's the second greatest shooting guard of all time. One of the greatest shot makers of all time as well. Kobe Bryant, he left a very influential impact on the game of basketball. And he'll forever be remembered, man. R.I.P. Kobe and the rest of the passengers. Shout out Gianna Bryant as well. All right, y'all. We've reached the top 5, man. At number 5, we got the one and only Shaquille O'Neal, a.k.a. Shaq, a.k.a. The Diesel, a.k.a. Superman. The OG Superman, by the way. I know Dwight Howard is called Superman, but Shaq is the OG. You know what I'm saying? Shaquille O'Neal is a 4-time champion, 3-time Finals MVP, 1-time MVP. He's a great defender, 2-time scoring champ. And yeah, as I mentioned before, y'all, you know, with all the other great centers amongst the league, you know what I'm saying? Shaq, in my opinion, is the second greatest center of all time, behind who I ranked number 3, which we'll get to shortly. He is the most dominant player of all time, you know what I'm saying? For him to have been a scoring champ by strictly scoring in the paint just shows the level of dominance that he had in the league. All right, y'all. If y'all made it to this point in the video, this is the moment we all been waiting for. The number 1 player of all time, y'all. The greatest player of all time, man. The number 1 player of all time, y'all, is the one and only LeBron James, a.k.a. King James, a.k.a. The Chosen One, a.k.a. LBJ, man. Shout out to the GOAT, man. You know what I'm saying? The number 1 player of all time, the greatest player of all time. I'm talking about an individual here who is the NBA's all-time leading scorer in points. He is 42,184 points total and 50,473 points total, including both regular season and playoffs. This is the greatest scorer of all time, y'all. You know, 10 finals appearances, 8 consecutive between 2011 and 2018. He's a 4-time champion, a 4-time Finals MVP, a 4-time MVP, a 21-time All-Star, which is the most All-Star appearances in NBA history. He's also been a great defender throughout his time in the league. He's one of the greatest shot blockers, in my opinion, in NBA history. He is 6th all-time in steals, 4th all-time in assists. You know, considering also that he's one of the greatest passers of all time. He's 7th all-time in 3-pointers made, which also concludes that he is also one of the greatest shooters of all time. He's 2nd all-time in field goals made. He has the most points of all time off of efficiency. This man is an icon, y'all. I mean, the impact on the game of basketball is like no other. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest athletes ever amongst all sports. From high school to the NBA, as I mentioned before, he lived beyond expectation. Shout out to LeBron. Shout out to the GOAT, man. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for everything you brought to the game of basketball. Yeah, man. The greatest scorer of all time. The greatest NBA player of all time, y'all. LeBron James, aka King James, man. All right, y'all. That's gonna conclude the video. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't yet. Hey, and since this video is a little different type of video, man, comment y'all favorite basketball players of all time, man. I feel like my list is proper. My list is valid. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. And, hey, we out here, y'all. Till next time. Peace.